What's going on, horror fans? Welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. This is, our 17th episode?
Yeah,
I think
not
so.
the 16th like you preluded to.
Oh, yeah, I messed that up. 17th episode, folks. Thank you for joining us on Descent into Horror Hell. I am Skidgore. This is
Cool.
the one, the only. And we're going to have a lot of gory, gut-munching fun.
Yes.
Because this is going to be entirely about our favorite genre, which is cannibalism. All gutchy munchy shit.
The Dahmer effect.
The Dahmer effect, yep. But
yeah.
Before we get into that, you know, as always, we have our favorite section, which is recent watches. So, Ghoul, what you been watching, man?
Well, this is a brand new one that just came out, of course. I am talking about Todd Sheets' Dreaming Purple Neon.
Awesome movie.
Not widely released yet, but it will be. Unearthed Films, I hear, is going to pick this one up.
That's great news.
Later in the year.
Deserves it.
Todd Sheets he's been around for quite some time, and without doing a whole review and stuff like that, Dreaming Purple Neon it's a kind of a satanic cult film. It's a little bit all over the place, but lots of gore. It's got a lot of the fun stuff in it. It's a throwback, obviously, to 70s, 80s type
absolutely.
Movies, and some of the outlandish characters, the kill scenes, the knife through the throat, and
some amazing kill scenes.
Of course, the infamous, drilling out this guy's, undercarriage. But yeah, basically the story is this doctor, priest, whatever, wants to summon this succubus. So he takes demon's blood or whatever and mixes it with this drug called Purple Neon, and it kind of turns people into drones of sorts, like empty souls, whatever. And the succubus comes back and uses that power.
And she comes back with a vengeance, man.
Yes, absolutely.
She's not too happy.
And her scream controls all the people that have taken the Purple Neon, and it's one of those movies.
It's a good drug movie. Pretty much.
Yeah, it is a longer movie. It's a lot longer than I thought. It's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's like nonstop action. It's fun. It's just a good time to watch. You don't get bored of it. There is some moments I remember watching it where it almost seemed like a soap opera. Like they're talking
like
to
in
each
the
other,
beginning when they're in the dentist's office.
Yeah, and they're just kind of.
It's a total build up though. I mean, if you can handle it till then,
so it's
a good payoff.
So it's got relationships and stuff, which is kind of cool for a gore film. It kind of has a story set in and things like that. But definitely,
Absolutely.
Dreaming Purple Neon, Todd Sheets. You can check this out. I know Wastebook has their link to their page, and don't be afraid. Todd Sheets is an awesome guy.
Yeah, he is.
Definitely gonna want to check this out if you get it. So
great job. I love that movie. That was great.
That was a good fun watch.
Absolutely.
All right, what do you got? I'm sure it's gonna be something grand and glorious.
Oh yeah, as always. French horror at its best. Inside.
Oof,
I finally showed Ghoul this film for the first time, and man, that was cool.
I meant to see it for the longest time, but it's just... I remember
I've been plugging this movie for the longest time, but then I finally got your ass to sit down and watch it, man. And
I'm a busy man. I do a lot of shit, right?
It totally paid off. French horror, Martyrs, Frontiers, In My Skin. I mean, even old stuff like Eyes Without a Face, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
French horror really is great horror done right, and Inside is great. Basically, there's this poor woman that's being terrorized in her own home by this crazy woman. And she's played by
Can you even read that?
Beatrice Daly. I said that wrong, I'm sorry, but she's an amazing actor, really believable as a psycho. That chick with the scissors that wants to cut the baby out.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Really amazing kills. Excellent gore in this film.
All
really
the
good.
when she actually does it. Oh.
Yeah, and then when she sticks her mother in the neck and her blood's like all over the...
It's a good slasher, but it's got a really deep story.
Great, man.
Really creepy when she shows up outside of her window, and it's just that Strangers type feel.
Yeah, totally. It has totally a Strangers type feel, like when she first comes in the house, like he said. Mm. And great gore, good story. Very you feel really sorry for the characters that are involved. Even Beatrice, because that would be giving the movie away, of course. But
no spoilers.
I know I'm bad at that, Ghoul. But it's great, man. Check out Inside if you want to see something really unique, really good gore, and good atmosphere. Check out Inside, and also check out... Get that fucker up here.
Sorry, guys.
Dreaming Purple Neon and Inside. Check it out. Those are our recent watches. We shall return.
Hey guys, welcome back to Descent into Horror Hell. We're going to jump right into our cannibal episode with talking about 3 films that we feel are main staples of the genre, I guess. If Skidgore over here will keep it down. He hasn't eaten all day, pardon his appetite.
Lay off me, I'm starving!
Yeah. I'm going to start this one off with a movie called Lord of Darkness. Now,
looks like Robin Williams on the cover.
Robert Englund?
Oh, yeah.
Not Robin Williams.
Yeah, him too.
This kind of crosses into the last episode we had of serial killers. But this is also cannibalism. It kind of deals with a family called Sawney Bean family. And they were a group of serial killer cannibals. And basically this guy hears about this family's history and stuff. He's a reporter, and he wants to start writing articles about the family and to kind of put down their family and degrade them and just, make them seem like trash. And needless to say, they get wind of this, and to protect their name, they do ungrueling things to these people.
Don't mess with the family.
There's good gore in this movie, really good storyline. The character himself... That guy, I can't really think of his name offhand. I don't know if it's Sawney or
Robert Englund looking.
Yeah, Robert Englund guy. I don't, and he basically just captures this girl, binds and ties her. It's kind of a torture film, cannibal film, serial killer film. It's kind of all of them. It's got some good gore in it, really gritty, dirty atmosphere. He has this beast or this ugly, I don't know if it's a child or something that lives in his cage. And he feeds all the body parts. He's got this room in the back, he's hacking them up, and he takes his cart, he feeds this beast in this chamber, and I guess that's kind of where the cannibalism part comes in. It's from 2013, so relatively good film, good effects in this one, but yeah, definitely check out Lord of Darkness.
Awesome.
It's got a little bit of everything.
Variety's always good.
I like it. It's not it's not just one or the other.
I have my first one I have here is Cannibal Apocalypse with the great John Saxon.
Saxton?
Nope. He plays a Vietnam vet. Actually, a whole group of Vietnam vets that kind of contracted this cannibalism disease from a bite. And honestly, they're kind of like zombies in a way, except they're alive. They're not dead. They're just these group of cannibals that eventually develop this unhealthy craving for human flesh, in the hospital, and they break each other out. And I remember John Morgan, who's also in Cannibal Ferox. He's the guy that gets his number chopped off with a machete. It happens a lot, man. He dies so much brutally in movies. But yeah, he's in here. Plays really good. His real name actually is Giovanni Lombardo DeRice. I think I messed that up last time, but yeah, that's his real name. Great actor. He's known for his cannibal flicks, but this one definitely is no exception. It's a really great film.
Came out in 1980.
I
believe that was 80.
Yep, 1980.
And that was the peak of the cannibal.
Oh man,
films.
the Italian cannibal films were just.
They were
obviously we'll get into those at some point.
Everybody was kind of jumping on the bandwagon to get on the. On
this one was done better than most though.
It wasn't the jungle thing. It was kind of a suburban.
Yeah, it was in the city, like a cannibal in the cities and stuff. It's great. Cannibal Apocalypse, guys, with Sean Saxon. Check it out. Cool, what you got?
All right, now we are moving to the jungle. Welcome to the jungle, Amazonia.
Don't single.
I know. The Catherine Miles story. This is kind of a typical.
What year's that?
85.
Another 80s one.
This was, it's at the decline of this apocalypse or cannibal thing, but basically it's kind of telling this true story. This woman, Catherine Miles, is rescued from the jungle, this cannibal tribe, and she's telling the story, and it kind of goes back because they kind of accuse her of killing her parents because they go on a trip and these cannibals ambush their boat and. She has to kind of try to, basically in a trial, she has to basically tell all these people what actually happened in court.
Oh, that must have been fun.
To try to, say, she didn't, her whole story, because, like I said, she's on trial for killing her parents.
Yeah.
It's your typical,
there are
zombie
animal killings
flick.
in that one?
I
Most
don't
of those cannibal
think
films
so.
of it.
I mean, it was nothing really like,
Cannibal
Holocaust or anything like that.
Alright. I've actually never saw that.
But it's kind of cool. There is it does, like I said, have a relationship type thing. There's one cannibal guy in the tribe. They basically strip her of her clothes in the middle circle of this village, and all the tribesmen and all this stuff. And basically, what they do is all these either women or people they capture, they auction them off.
Nice.
And she ends up getting bought by a guy who basically just wants to make babies with her. It's like all the guy's in it for. And so she gets beaten around pretty well. And, there's tits everywhere. And it's your typical movie.
Definitely 70s and 80s.
But it really just, it is a degrading film. Really what she went through, in the film. Kind of what she had to do. And it just, even the women treated her like garbage. And it's kind of a sad movie, but it's graphic. It's what they say is strangely watchable. Like, it's just one of those films, man. I mean, if you like those cannibal films in the jungle setting, it's a way to go.
Check it out. Next one I got is Anthropophagus. Now, this is one of my favorite, actually, myself and Gould, one of our favorite cannibal films.
The Grim Reaper.
Yes, it's also known as the Grim Reaper on our shores. But, man, this movie really has some really creepy elements in it.
Just him alone.
Yeah, just him alone, the cannibal. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anthropophagus. George Eastman is who plays this guy. And, I mean, yeah, you can see, man, he's creepy as hell. He almost looks like a zombie, honestly.
Yeah.
But he's just a cannibal. He's this guy that got shipwrecked. And unfortunately, he had to kill his family in order to survive, eat their meat. And he develops an unhealthy craving for human flesh, kind of like, Cannibal Apocalypse, and he just can't control himself and ends up running amok on this island and killing everybody. How he killed everyone on the island, I still don't know, because everyone is just gone.
Island,
yeah, he must have been hungry.
And he's not fat, which is amazing.
Yeah, he's big bone.
Works it off.
But anyway, like, there's this scene of this pregnant woman. There's this group of stupid kids trying to find one of their sisters or something on this island. Of course, you know how it goes. Things go wrong, They go on a boat and they ended up this island and, with this whole dark past, and Georgie's been running around eating people. Make a long story short, like, it just gets nasty. There's this pregnant woman that just gets her baby totally ripped out of her. And eats it right in front of her. Cuts the umbilical cord and everything. It was a very, very revolutionary scene for horror history. Like, that really was definitely pushed the taboo button for that time.
For something like that.
And it was banned for a long time.
Yep.
But Anthropophagus the Beast, that's a great film.
Right on.
What you got, Gold?
Alright, now we're going to be a little less serious. And we're going to talk about The Cook. It's a horror comedy, but it's great. It's Sorority Babes, the other white meat. Basically, it's a film from 2005?
That's
2008. 2008.
Modern one.
And basically what happens, these group of sorority girls move into this new house, and they're all excited. And
Losing my head. Sorry.
Because they want to enjoy it, they hire a private chef to cook all their meals and things like that. And the chef comes in and doesn't speak a lick of English, and all he says is "okay," like that's all he says. Like he tries to understand them, but he doesn't. Whatever. He doesn't understand, so they just kind of go. It doesn't tell them their secret, whatever.
I remember that.
But he makes these great meals. And
He's a hell of a cook, man.
Yeah, he was a great cook in the movie. And in the end of the movie, you end up finding out one by one these girls disappear. And where do you think they end up?
Right.
The kitchen table, and they're eating these sandwiches and all this shit. And
great delicacies.
They're eating their friends. Until one of the girls discovers him in his back room, and he's hacking up one of the sorority girls. And
nice.
And he gets away with it. Like, he totally, it's one of them movies, man. It's funny, it's got your typical sorority girls, which are big boobs and nice bodies.
All those good sorority movies.
But no, this was a fun one. I actually enjoy this one. If it's a good horror comedy, well, Cannibalism.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one as well.
So
that was a good one.
Yeah, my last one here.
Yeah, my last one I got here. Now you probably think I'd, talking about cannibalism. Cannibal Holocaust would be my pick, and I love Cannibal Holocaust, absolutely, so it's cool. But I saw this film before Cannibal Holocaust, and, I quite frankly like it a little bit more, honestly, and that is Cannibal Ferox, Umberto Lenzi. Basically, it's a rip-off of Cannibal Holocaust, it was cashing in on that.
But I think
it's done very well.
There was a little bit more gore in that one.
Yes. I mean, with, John Morgan getting his member chopped off and the guy getting...
Is scalped?
Yeah, and then the chick with the nipples.
Yeah, that's an infamous scene of the hooks going through her nipples.
I mean, you want to talk video nasty, man.
Yeah,
Cannibal Ferox. What does it say? It was banned in 31 countries.
Yeah. And probably still at least half of that.
Yeah, who knows, man. But, yeah, Joe Bob Briggs gave it a 98 on the vomit meter, and it's rightfully so, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you really. There's ritualistic animal killings, like in most of these cannibal films in the jungle, which kind of puts you off. I don't really like seeing animals die. I like watching people die more. But yeah, it's really great, man. Cannibal Ferox, one of my favorites, also known as Make Them Die Slowly. That's the title that I know it by because I remember getting that big thriller box.
Yeah,
I remember getting that. But yeah, Make Them Die Slowly. Check it out, Umberto Lenzi.
All right, now we're gonna start throwing them at you. So. As always, get out your pen, get out your paper, whatever, iPads, I don't give a shit. And we're going to throw some at you. Not talk a whole hell of a lot about them, but this will be your chance to kind of see some other things. And a lot of these you probably heard of, maybe some you haven't. So let's get to it.
All right.
First one, Zombie Holocaust, or Dr. Butcher, MD, whichever you really care about.
Now that's the only movie you have zombies and cannibals.
But it takes place in that psych ward, and there are human element to eating people rather than decomposing bodies. So it does count.
Definitely
slightly, but it does count.
Definitely one of my favorites. We have a modern Italian cannibal film called Last House in the Woods. Now, mostly Ghost House Underground I do not care for. They put out a lot of crap, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this one really impressed me a lot. I would really suggest checking this out if you're a fan of Italian cannibal films, done in Italian tradition, stuff like that. Really gory stuff in this one. I loved it.
All right, really new film, Bone Tomahawk with Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Gets trapped,
talked about that one many times
and stuff, and
I think it's one of his best horror roles since The Thing, personally.
You can probably go get that at Walmart right now if you just wait until this episode is over.
We have Ryan Nicholson's Collar from Unearthed Films.
Great
Talked
movie.
about this one many times, kind of like an urban cannibal. He's a rapist also, but he's just not a nice guy. But he definitely cannibalism ties in, so I figured I'd add it.
Yeah.
Tyler, check that out.
Blood Feast 2, of course, Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Rest in peace.
You have to put it in there. I mean, I don't care if we talk about this 10,000 times. We did the tribute, whatever. It's just a classic. You know, he's basically hacking up bodies to a god.
Fuad Ramses.
Yeah.
Continuing. So. Diary of a Cannibal.
I always love that cover.
Yeah, this one I really didn't care for. I mean, it's one of those movies where the cover is better than the actual movie.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed. It was kind of more like a, love story gone wrong, horribly wrong, pretty much. It was okay though. Give it a shot.
All right, we're moving on to Chud, or Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Absolutely.
Chud and Chud 2, I guess, are kind of
Blood the Chud.
you could actually do kind of both. Of course, Daniel Stern, John Hurd, famous actors in this movie.
John Goodman plays a cop at the end.
Yes, he does. So definitely a good New York kind of film, good city film.
Yeah, you feel the sleaze of New York City when you watch Chud.
Yes, you do. In the sewer system, for sure.
You gotta wonder what else is down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have another another Ryan Nicholson movie called Live Feed. This is actually his first film that I ever saw.
Oh, that's a brutal
definitely
film.
Great. It's not just solely about cannibalism, but there are cannibalistic elements within it, so I decided it would be appropriate to include it.
It works.
Great film. That dude looks like a pro wrestler in the front.
All right, Welcome to the Jungle. It's a modern take on the, not African, Amazonian tribes. I've seen this once. Don't really remember it. I probably was sleeping, but it's got to be good. It's in this movie or episode.
There's another one called Gnaw, more of a modern one. I have not seen this film. I will check it out.
All right, we are into Butcher Boys. Basically, your backwoods family who trap a group of kids and basically just torture them and eat them.
Sounds like fun.
Oh, nice, right?
Ghoul talked about Soybean Clan before. This is another film based on it called Hillside Cannibals. Done very well.
It was a good one.
Definitely inspired, The Hills Have Eyes. Wes Craven definitely got inspired by the soybean story. And this is a really good portrayal of it as well. A little more low budget, but... Oh, it's from the Asylum, go figure. But I thought for Asylum it's pretty good. Check it out.
Alright, we're moving on to Trauma goodness called The Butchers. Kind of a Blood Feast type. It's kind of a Trauma version of Blood Feast. Basically, this guy just... small town corruption, cannibalism. He just basically hacks up bodies and then sells them. How nice.
Ruggiero Deodato of the infamous Cannibal Holocaust film Jungle Holocaust. This one was just as good. I really enjoyed this one. You feel for the guy that keeps getting fucked with, man. By the cannibals. Like, little kids are pissing on his head when he's in the cage and stuff. It's a lot of good full frontal nudity in this one as well.
Alright, speaking of Wes Craven, The Hills Have Eyes, this wouldn't be complete, obviously, without this film.
Oh, yeah.
Michael Berryman, of course, and his little tribal, whatever the hell you want to call them, cannibals.
Pluto.
And, everybody knows this for the rape scene.
They want to eat the baby. They probably would have eaten the baby if the hero went to God.
Yeah. But that's definitely got to be, I think, in everybody's checklist as far as...
Definitely worthy of cannibalism. We have a really modern one. Now, this movie gets a lot of hate and love at the same time. Anything Eli Roth has his name on these days, pretty much. I personally like it.
It's a good film.
The Green Inferno. I actually enjoyed this one.
There's some good
I really wanted to see this movie in the theater, but of course we pussied out and didn't get it. But yeah, this was a pretty good modern take on good cannibalism film.
Alright. We are what we are.
Oh, that movie is insane, man. Like, basically, it's pretty much just about this family whose old man croaks, and he's a cannibal. They're all cannibals, and he was the guy that did all the work to bring victims to the house and stuff. Now they got to choose a new leader, but before they can't eat anything until they have a leader to bring victims home, and they will be willing to starve. It's really weird, man. It's really good and gory, and hopelessly it was remade for the U.S., unfortunately.
And I would have said all that, unfortunately I didn't get a chance to, so just imagine my voice over that.
You've seen that movie?
Once, yes I have.
Liar.
That's okay.
Okay.
Not
We
a
have
liar.
Eating Raoul. This is more of a comedy type movie.
Never heard of it.
Parb Hotel. Really awesome movie.
That one I've never heard of.
More of a comedy.
All right, now this was kind of an iffy one. Blood-sucking freaks. It's got elements of cannibalism, but it's more of macabre, like sex and weird. Yeah, it's not really cannibalism per se, but it does have elements. It's kind of disgusting.
A lot of crazy, disgusting shit.
Yeah.
Tidney Michaels, The Corpse Grinders. This is a classic. Rest in peace, by the way. We lost him and Herschel Gordon Lewis. They're dropping like flies, all these great directors. Corpse Grinders is one of his best, The cat food. Everyone knows this one. You should. It's great. Ground up cat food.
Elfie Hopkins' Cannibal Hunter, basically just a group of people that go out on a streak of just taking out people, and it's kind of a good movie.
Yep,
It's CG, a lot of CG in that one.
We've got Eat the Rich, The Cannibal Murders. Kind of a take on, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I personally didn't really care for it that much.
All right, guys, that's a good chunk of them. We were gonna go kill something.
We shall return.
Somebody needs to die. So we'll be back.
Should What's going on, horror fans? Welcome back to Descent in Horror. Let's keep this shit rolling.
Slow it down there. Yeesh. You got a little excited out of the gun there, just fucking taking off.
I'm happy to be here. I don't work tonight, and I'm good. Anyway, I have Eaten Alive. Don't make me pronounce the other title. Maggie Antigigdal. I don't know. I have no idea what the hell that says, but Eaten Alive. Good. I believe this is an Umberto Lenzi film as well. Yes. Umberto Lenzi is the king of the cannibals, along with Ruggiero Deodato, Cannibal Holocaust fame. But Eaten Alive is great, man. If you like these good Italian cannibal films that were like a staple of the 70s and 80s, definitely great.
All right, Jack Ketchum's The Offspring, based off obviously the novel. Basically, a group of cannibals that were long thought gone come back, and they kind of terrorize this town. And
yep, great book too.
Oh, yeah.
Anything that had Jack Ketchum's name on, you probably should check out because it's going to be some good quality horror.
Yeah, knows how to write a story.
And Girl Next Door, the list goes on. It's like that. Lost was another one.
Mm-hmm.
I have from Unearthed Films, Cannibal. You probably saw this in our Gore episode as well.
Says it all.
Rightfully so. I mean, Unearthed Films is putting up the good gooey stuff we love. But yeah, Cannibal. This is a different animal entirely. This is a movie if you have an open mind, to all forms of sexuality. I mean, these are two gay guys that go at it and eventually eat each other.
Praying mantis style. Just
Yeah, I mean, if you have an open mind and you can stomach that stuff, check it out. I mean, I would have to say it's morbidly beautiful, I guess. I guess that's the way I would say. But great movie, Cannibal. Impossible to find, but if you can find it, check it out.
Alright, moving on to The Untold Story.
Loosen our head, buddy. Settle down.
The Untold Story. Let me pronounce his name. But he owns a restaurant.
Anthony Wong.
Well, that was hard. Yeah.
It's a guy
I've never seen
that
this
grinds
one, so.
people down with meat buns. They
Meat
like their
buns.
meat buns in Hong Kong. Anthony Wong is a great actor. Definitely brings it out. Oh, God, here we go.
Yeah,
Bob Glazer. We
Nice.
love him here at Descent into Horror. We hope you do, too. This is Cannibal Claus. Everyone knows Bob Glazer from American Holocaust, I Died Delta Pi. All that's great. I think he's in Death Court Service as well. Yep. Great film.
Any sleazebox release, basically.
I just watched this last night, man. I had a blast watching it. It was great. Cannibal Claus. Check it out. Support independent horror like we did in our last episode. Support the sleazebox. These guys are making some great films.
Alright, I'm not going to talk much about this one. Blood Feast goes along with the second one. Of course, this is the infamous one. The one that really shocked the audience.
Started it all, man. Like, every single movie we
cannibals, the
talk
gore.
about, basically,
Oh, my goodness.
with Red Stuff would not be possible without Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, my friend.
My friend.
Wish we could have met him.
Yeah,
We have kind of a loosely based sequel to Cannibal Holocaust by Roger Deodato called Cut and Run. George Lynch. Richard Lynch, I'm sorry. And Michael Berryman actually makes an appearance as well. Creepy. You all know Michael Berryman, man. He's a creepy guy. This is a great film. Yeah, like I said, it's kind of loosely based. The Cannibal Holocaust Part 2, I guess that's kind of what's mostly known for. Great film.
All right, 1972, Cannibal Man. I think this was the one, if I remember, it was with the horse. In the beginning? I think in the same movie.
I don't know, but I know that's the movie where that dude is you know, he's killing all those people and taking them back to his house.
Yeah. But
That
yeah,
was a good one.
Definitely Cannibal Man.
Cannibal Man was great.
It's a lesser known film, but
Yeah, that one needs to be
was,
seen more.
That was on a lot of lists and banned for, I know, a lot of years.
Yep. We have Jesse Franco. He's kind of a hit or miss here. But this is Cannibals. This is definitely probably a hit. Al Cliver of Fulci fame stars in this. Is a scientist trying to go his daughter, who then he kidnapped by cannibals and raised by cannibals, and he tries to trace her back to this island. And she's a cannibal now. Well, she's living with cannibals, so he's trying to bring her back to the real world. But then she's stuck with the cannibals. It's kind of like a weird triangle. Good family though. It's a great film. Jesse Franco.
All right, and fairly recent, if I believe, 2003, Mondo Cannibal.
Yes.
Of course, this was the ripoff of many. What was that? Bruno Mattei.
Bruno Mattei.
Bruno Mattei. He's the kind of ripoff artist of cannibal films. Can't say his fucking
Rogerio Deodato.
Yeah, I can never say.
It's hard to say.
Deodato. He was a ripoff, famous for his making movies that were, that he always tries to. Even today, he tries to build on that cannibal.
He's got that
aspect.
total 70s, 80s
Yeah.
vibe, and that's what makes it real, because, we all miss those films, and it's great that someone's actually trying to take a stab to bring that style back.
We like him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mondo Cannibal.
This is the Pure Canadian Horror Collection, strictly for Long Pigs. Long Pigs is a great documentary about a cannibal. A year in the life of a cannibal, basically. Kind of like done like Man Bites Dog style, he's got a documentary crew with him.
Follows him around.
And eventually shit gets like crazy because he's actually killing and butchering and eating people. Then they find out, oh, this is real.
Oops.
Well, what do we do? Do we film this or do we turn them in, Only in Canada, buddy. But great. Long Pigs. Awesome movie. I think I just broke it.
Alright, Mountain of the Cannibal God.
Oh, God.
This was a good one. I like this one. This was, it had this big cave dwelling, I remember, and
Stacy Keach.
the pig fucker.
Stacy Keach. They're trying to find these emeralds or something. Or no, this gold or something. And
some precious gem I know they were looking for,
Yeah.
and something,
and definitely
And they stumbled upon
there's a back turn,
Cannibal
somebody,
turn,
there's a lot of backstabbing, and there's cannibals thrown in for good measure. That's great.
Yeah, why not?
On the doors! Raw meat, man. Now, this movie, more people need to see and respect. It's also known as Deathline, which that title is pretty cool, too. Raw meat's great, man. Donald Pleasance stars as this really cranky detective, and he looks just like Donald Pleasance. Well, that made a lot of sense, Skid Gore. He looks just like Dr. Loomis of Halloween, because he's got that trench coat.
He's always sitting there, give me my coffee. Wait,
Coffee, right now, coffee!
Get in here.
He's such an asshole. I love it, man. But he's
sarcastic. His one-liners are great.
He's great, and he goes to the bar and gets drunk when there's a murder case going on. He just doesn't give a shit. He comes in all with the hangover and stuff.
I just remember that he had that dartboard or whatever on the back. He was throwing darts, and he calls his secretary in, and he just keeps throwing the darts.
Yeah, he's just yelling at her. But when the film gets going, man, as far as the cannibalism it really goes, because there's this
one in the subway,
this subway cannibal that just
that
decimates people.
His area down when he's in the tunnels or whatever, the subway tunnels. Like,
all the rotting corpses.
oh my!
Stuff.
And then he has his wife or whatever who's pregnant, and she ends up dying, and then that kind of makes him snap, and it's pretty grotesque.
Raw meat is great, guys. We suggest you check this one out.
It's a good one.
It's great. Mind the doors.
Massacre in Dinosaur Valley.
Oh yeah,
Great name.
one of my favorite cannibal films. Kind of like it's kind of got like a Jim Jones type feel to it with a cult leader.
And the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. The Kool-Aid.
it's a great film. I love it. We have a classic here, Ravenous. How can we not have Ravenous? Killjoy, we love you. But yeah, this is the movie Ravenous. Great, great cannibal tale, man. Great. Check it out.
The infamous Man from Deep River.
That is the first ever cannibal film ever filmed.
Yep. It's the one that started it all, man. I mean,
Umberto Lenzi.
shit.
I'm not the fish!
River.
I'm not a fish! That's all I remember. They have a little Law and Order, like Texas Chainsaw action going here called Wrong Turn.
Surprisingly,
Cannibal Hillbilly films.
Yeah.
Great. I love this series.
I think this one and the second one were the really only cannibal
the second one
ones,
was great. The second one was my personal favorite. Henry Rollins was in that one. I highly check. You should check that one out. Yeah, Wrong Turn series are pretty good. They're not bad.
Diamonds in Kilimanjaro, a Jess Franco movie. Jess Franco, again, kind of hit or miss. It's your typical cannibal film.
Absolutely.
Treasure of the White Goddess, it's also known as. So,
Paying respects to Joe D'Amato, with Andrea Schnaz,
Schnaz.
Anthropophagus 2000, amazing gore. Oh my god. We talked about this one several times. Definitely in that gore episode, rightfully so. Man,
Massacre
there's
Video.
so much
I
real
believe
shit
has
in this
that
movie.
right now.
Arms
Okay.
getting ripped off, entrails being eaten,
Yeah.
babies being eaten. It's great. Like, if you're a fan of the original film, like I talked about earlier, you'll really love this.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. Andrea Schnaz is also known for, the violent shit series, stuff like that.
All right. Obviously, Hannibal. And you can talk about Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal, Red Dragon. What the hell was the other one? Whatever. Hannibal
Manhunter.
Lecter. Yeah, Manhunter. Hannibal Lecter, he's it's a serial killer film, but he's also got that cannibalistic tendency where he eats people.
Yeah.
And that was, it's a good series, and I know a lot of people knock it because, it's Hollywood and shit, but this is when Hollywood made original stuff.
Absolutely.
So,
Cannibal Lecter.
definitely check Cannibal Lecter.
Why don't you take that one and we'll both do the last one I got.
All right, it sounds good. Now, this is one that, Charlton Heston, Soylent Green.
Good band, by the way. All
Yes.
the metalheads out there.
This is one that it's often forgotten. Nobody really knows if everybody always thinks it's a war movie. I always think
Soylent Green are
people. But basically, it's they run out of food or run low on food supplies, so they come up with this thing called green,
Oh, yeah.
and it ends up turning into Soylent Green when they start finding out that they're using bodies to make the food. Like, it's out there, but it's definitely
Absolutely.
such a cool. It's a good visionary film, good futuristic type, where it's a demise of society and the world and stuff. So it's definitely
one of those that make you think too. Like, whoa, is this?
What could really happen, government and shit like that. So
Now we saved the best for last because this is obvious. Put your hand on the other side. We give you the one, the only Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh.
I'm sure everyone watching, if you're watching, has ever
right here.
seen Cannibal Holocaust.
Holocaust of Cannibal.
It's infamous. What more can you even say? Ruggiero Deodato made a film that stood the test of time.
Still to this day.
The
impaled woman on a post to the rape with a rock scene.
Why
Which
don't you show your tat real quick?
Everybody.
Ghoul's showing up.
See, usually I wear shorts. Oh shit, running wrong way. There she is.
Right there. That's infamous. Every mother loves that.
My mom hates it. But, needless to say, it's like the scenes are so gruesome. Like, you see it when they were watching the one native woman getting dragged from the river or the boat by that one other tribesman. He gets, she's getting raped, and he does the sacrilege with the, with the rock and shit, with the stone. But if you actually read into it, you realize that was actually not like a rape per se. He was actually basically embarrassing her and sending her back, as in she's used up and showing that this other tribe and shit. But then you find out later the two guys that witnessed this that are in the group decide to take it on themselves to rape a tribeswoman, and that's when it really starts to get pretty risky. I mean,
and they go and burn the village and rape all.
And they actually did that too.
Yeah, Ellen and his cronies were a bunch of assholes.
When they found, I think when they saw what was going on there, they realized like, hey, if they can do it, why can't we? But you got to realize, man, when you're dealing with those tribes, they don't do it for pleasure or for shit like that. They do it because it's like a big, up yours to other tribes.
And I mean, definitely intimidation and survival.
Thing, yeah.
I mean,
so they took it as a joke, and that's...
Who are the real cannibals? It's a great story. I mean, it's one of the best found footage films ever made.
And a lot of people believed it. I remember when that first came out, it was banned because people thought it was real.
I will never forget the first time I saw Cannibal Holocaust. I was just... I couldn't believe what I was watching because, it was before I saw like the AU and like really, really hardcore stuff. Mm-hmm. So this one, and I saw Ferox before that. That's why I probably like Ferox a little bit more, Make Them Die Slowly. But Cannibal Holocaust is such a classic in this genre of cannibalism films. And I mean, it's definitely a must. That's why we saved it for last. So, there you go, guys. That's a couple good gut munchers for you. Hope you all enjoyed that. That was fun to do. So, what now?
I think we give them something. Change it up a little.
Change it up a bit?
We'll be back, guys.
Stick around.
Hey guys, welcome. This is Descend to Horror Hell's new little segment that we got for you. It kind of replaces some of the kill scenes. What we're going to do for you each episode is we're going to throw an album, a topic at you. We're just going to kind of discuss stuff that deals with metal because we all love horror, we love metal. It all goes hand in hand. So without further ado, we're going to talk today about two of our favorite albums among thousands.
Absolutely.
There's plenty.
The list is endless.
There's plenty of them.
Kind of give you an idea of what me and Ghoul grew up on, too, I mean.
Oh, we got us started in the metal.
Absolutely. These two right here are perfect examples.
Hell Awaits from Slayer, 1985, and Metallica's Ride the Lightning, 1984.
Absolutely. Two classic thrash metal records that, I mean, they totally got me into this type of music, harder music. I mean, before that I was into, like, Led Zeppelin and Alice Cooper, Foghat, stuff like that. My parents would throw at me, but when I first heard, I'll just say Ride the Lightning real quick. I mean, when I first heard that, I thought that was the most insane, heaviest music I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah.
Until I heard this one right here.
Slayer in general.
This exact one, absolutely. Hell Away, it's like,
yeah, there was
At Dawn They Sleep, the Necrophiliac. I mean, my mom loved this album.
There was something about thrash metal. This is two out of the big four of the 80s that we all know. Anthrax.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to say Megadeth. But
Anthrax, Megadeth, Exodus, Testament. I mean,
there's like a big nine.
There's so many.
But these albums, I think, everybody knows Kill 'Em All from Metallica. Everybody knows Master of Puppets. Obviously, is their probably biggest. But I think their biggest breakthrough is Ride the Lightning, in my opinion.
It's my personal favorite too.
Just some of the songs that were on there, the riffs, the solos, you name it, I love it.
You can tell the band was expanding their musical horizons, and because Kill 'Em All was just kind of like a flat out thrash metal record.
Well, they were pissed off at the record labels for turning them down, so they basically
metal
said
up your ass.
That's where it came from, and they said Kill 'Em All. So
then their second one, they got a little bit more
technical and actually wrote songs. Now bands like Slayer, of course, you got Raining Blood. Everybody knows that one, and their discography goes on. You know when you hear Slayer.
Absolutely.
But Hell Awaits was such an evil album for its time.
Definitely had an atmosphere to it.
This was about like when Venom came out and Celtic Frost, not out, but when their albums were really big. And it had that thrash metal element to it that they were almost kind of black metal in a sense. Because if you want to consider Venom black metal.
Lyrical content, definitely old Slayer You know, Show No Mercy, Hell Awaits,
Haunting the Chapel.
On the Chapel, Rain and Blood, even South of Heaven, you know, stuff like that. I mean, they definitely had that black metal vibe, you know, Satanism, demonic type feel to their music. And Jeff Hanneman was he's a guitar god, you know, what more can you say? And, you know, Cliff Burton's a bass god.
Rest in peace for those two, of course.
Absolutely.
Miss you guys. But definitely, this is our segment. We'll come back. We'll actually go back to the horror cast. Sorry, almost slipped.
Yeah, we're not a podcast, by the way. We're kind of dumb on that.
Yeah, we're a horror
Been saying
cast.
that for like 2 fucking
years. Took us 14
years.
episodes to figure it out. But on that note, let's take you guys back to Descent into Horror Hell. Cheers. Slayer, Metallica.
Metal
Cheers.
forever.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed that segment. It's something a little new. Maybe we might add it a little bit. I don't know. Let us know.
Mix it up a bit.
But of course, you know, when some tragedy happens, you know, we always kind of got to be there on the forefront. I guess a little late because social media takes over, bastards. But of course, we're talking Bill Paxton, passed away about a month ago now.
Yep.
That
was totally a
that was
blow.
a shocker. I mean, that crazy's only 50, 60.
Yeah, he was a pretty
something.
young guy.
And you know, and it was kind of weird because I guess you always forget what films these people are in. Like, you know, certain ones. But you always forget kind of what films they're in until they're gone. And
yeah,
we're not really we're not gonna do a whole obituary and shit like that. Good band, but we're not gonna do a whole obituary on them and stuff like that. But we're just gonna talk real briefly, just bring up the films and things that we grew up kind of watching.
Mostly
and
more of the horror elements.
Yeah, because he did a lot of dramas and things like that.
He really was a jack of all trades too. I mean.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't realize how many movies somebody does until they're gone.
Or TV shows or
whatever.
Like
he was in Tales from the Crypt as well. I mean, he was...
A lot of people were, yeah.
I mean, he was in so much stuff. Obviously, Apollo 13, Twister, big blockbuster movies, dramas, action, horror. The guy really was a jack of all trades.
But yeah.
So we're going to concentrate more on his horror. So...
And I do consider Twister kind of horror because it's...
I would say that's the ultimate horror film right there.
Yeah.
And get my ass earners. We have a Mortuary.
Linda Day.
More of his litter, not really known films. You know,
lesser known, yeah.
He plays this crazy mortuary assistant. Really great film.
Mm-hmm.
Shows his acting ability, definitely. The one that he's mostly known for,
Near Dark.
Near Dark, with Lance Henriksen as well.
Mm-hmm.
Plays that cocky vampire bastard.
Yeah.
One thing about Bill Paxton, he was such good as a cocky bastard. He was so great.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Aliens.
who could totally forget Hudson, Sergeant Hudson. Hudson. Yep. He was great in this one. One of my favorite roles as well.
86.
Yeah, I believe it's 86. Yeah. Great film, excellent. And lastly, we actually rewatched this recently, and that is Frailty.
Plays a psychopathic father who's very religious and believes that, hey, kill people and you're going to heaven.
Yep. Hears voices, thinks people are angels, but really they're just innocent bystanders. He thinks they're demons.
So he's got to kill them to basically set them free, and it's...
And the fact that Bill directed this film as well, wrote it, and starred in it is really a testament to his acting.
In a movie like this, though, if you've ever seen this movie or you do watch it, you could not just have an average Joe play a character like that. Like, Bill Paxton is
he was so
hell of an
believable.
Actor.
Yeah,
you have to have a good actor, and he really was. Any role you put him in, he was believable to the max. You also remember Predator?
Predator 2, yep. He was also in another movie with Michael Ironside called The Vigorant.
Yep.
I mean, he was... Obviously, it said he was in some Tales from the Crypt episodes as well. And just so many movies. Just do your homework and check out this amazing actor, because unfortunately he's gone, but he never will be forgotten.
The movies won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
That's the biggest thing. So
that's our little thing on Bill Paxton.
So with that...
Yep. Only one thing to do. Bill Paxton, Chars.
Thanks for the films.
That's for last time. time. Thanks for watching Descent into Horror Hell. Tune in next time. I am cool. I am Stigor.
And we'll see you next time, man. Let it rip. Cannibalism. Eat your munchies on Descent into Horror.
Yeah!